we have to be ready to play well in the game of life. Well, if you're joining us in reading through this month's reading plan, today's reading is John 6, verses 59 through 69. I encourage you to read that passage. Well, all of Tony's and my grandchildren are in some kind of sport, and they have learned rather quickly that to compete well, they must be all in. Sometimes when we're at the baseball park, I hear the term shouted out by the coaches, "Be baseball ready." Well, what exactly does it mean to be baseball ready? Is it different than any other kind of ready? Well, frankly, it means to be prepared for the ball to come to you. It means that you should have in your mind what your next move will be should you become part of the action. And if you aren't part of the actions, you should concentrate on what is happening so you might learn how to handle each situation. All right, so we're Christians. Are we Christ ready? Are we ready to take on the task which God has given us? Are we ready to answer for the reason of our hope? In 1 Peter 3:15. Are we to be ready to play with full passion the game that God has allowed us to play in? I would venture to say that most, if not all of us, are not in very good shape to play in the world that God would have us to be in. We didn't practice enough, we don't pray enough, we don't read enough, we don't worship enough, and we certainly don't meet with one another more enough. And most of all, we don't repent enough. There's a tradition at Texas A&M, and that is that every person in the stands should be prepared to take the field if called on. This tradition comes about from the story of a man who was not good enough to play except in the practice squad. But when the team needed him and the coach called him down from the stands, he suited up and then stood for the entire rest of the game, ready to go in if he was needed. This is the tradition of the 12th man. That is why all Aggies stand for the entire football game, ready to go in if needed. Or are we ready to go in and play the game of life with a focus on God and with the power of Christ? Are we suited up and standing on the sidelines, fully prepared for God to use us?